Thank you, Major Tone. Boys Don't Cry. The Cure cover. Check it out, guys. I can't use the real Cure song on this because it would be flagged for copyright usage. But Boys Don't Cry, and that is by Major Tone. Anyways, guys, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. Welcome to a really late night trends in the housing market, guys. I had my stomach was very upset. It was pretty harsh. I tried hard to get on. I wasn't feeling well, but I'm here. But walking journey, yes, I did. I got your address, buddy. I just got it. I saw it today. So I'll be sending you your thing before Friday. So what's gonna happen is there's the Illuminati card game by Steve Jackson. I have a copy of it in the store, so I'm gonna show you guys the cover and the back, and then that's part one. And then Walking Journey is gonna do the unboxing in Texas for you guys. So it's the Illuminati card game. Anyways, guys, welcome to Trends in the Housing Market. Tis I, Mike Martins, broadcasting out of Merritt, British Columbia. It is the 10th of May. Good morning, everyone. It is I, Mike in the night. If you're awake watching this, wow. Thanks for watching. And if it's in Australia, it's like 1 or 2 in the afternoon and 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon in New Zealand. So what is ripping up? I have the phone here if Steve wants to call in. Steve said he wants to call in, discussing something that's happening out east in Ontario. So Steve, if you're watching, buddy, let me know. If someone could contact him and let him know that I got my phone ready. He needs to tell me something from last week that is pressing news that's coming out from out east. So I'd like to know what's going on. So what is becoming very controversial on YouTube that my video even got a strike for bullying. Yesterday I did a video called Australia's Diarrhea Housing Market. And basically it's a house, it got so much bad comments from a lot of the haters. Okay, so there's a lot of haters out there that's just hating on me. Like, it's almost like I brought in this housing crisis. Like, I'm the usher inner. Like, I am the guy that brings the end to the apocalypse of the housing crisis. 'Tis I who's bringing it in. No, I am just talking. So much crap against me. It's like, are you serious, dude? Like, so he even spells my name wrong. So this channel should be named Mike Martins Missed the Real Estate Opportunity Channel. Sour grapes, anyone? Are you out of your stupid tree? Who the hell wants the headaches? There's so many markets in a sea of money to make out there. Why would you want the headache? And especially people are buying in right now. So you're telling me those people are still on train right now? Anyways, so in the video that was so controversial, I was comparing two watch this. This is actually I'll go over here. I'll play a bit of it here to see so you guys can see why it got under so many people's skin that it's phenomenal. I'm gonna adjust the audio. And lots of people messaging me right now. That's a 2-bedroom. Oh my god, they got it. Do we cry for them or do we applaud? Holy smokes. Man, that's pretty bad. 1.5 million bucks. Wow. This one sold for $1.1 million. Wow. $1.43 million. Guys, please pay attention to this. This is not a joke. I am not making this up. So let's turn off the audio. Make sure there's no audio here. Let's watch this video. I'm not getting no commission from this. 1.43 million. Okay, people, please listen to me. I have no education and I can't even read, okay? If you have $1.4 million to buy that, I need you to rethink this. buy this newly constructed house. I'm not getting no commission from this. $275,000 for this. You make your choice on how you want your roof and what design you want. But the interior comes like that with the stone, the granite, and the appliances. From what I called ahead. I just wanted to make sure I could show these things here. Because I don't want someone saying, look at that. Because this is not news. The news articles I could read freely. But when it's not news, it's considered private, kind of like a domain type thing. So I did get permission from gentleman Manuel. So he told me that it's fine. Look at that. That bathroom comes as is, like you see it there. So, again, I want to make this really clear. So, okay, let's move over to the Bristol. The Bristol is a 1-story, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, great room. It's got a great room, family room, den, nook, 2-car garage. Total square feet 3,000 square feet. What's the square footage on this thing? Oh, whoa, it's got Florida with tennis courts and helicopter pads. That's what you're comparing them to. This house in Australia buys you a house in northwest Florida in the Tallahassee area with a helicopter pad, tennis courts with apostrophe S, multiple tennis courts, and all this other crap. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so now I'm comparing this to 4 homes you could buy in Florida. 4 homes, brand new by the builder. 4. So let's look at Capella's. Capella's is nice. I might buy one. I might buy Capella's for myself. It's $312,000 American. It is 3,614 total square feet. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, great room, family room, nook, loft, den, 2-car garage. So this is Capella's. I like that look with that atrium archway in the front. It's kind of like a Portuguese architecture. And the nice wood garage doors. And I love the hurricane shutters they put on the windows. They're beautiful. I like that look with the interlock. It's an extra $3,000 for the interlock driveway. That one's pretty nice. That one's dope. You told me Australia. Okay, he's in Australia. Okay. So, Dylan, is that really worth 1.4 million, 1.1 million? So I got into a really heated debate with a couple of people in the comment section. I'm getting destroyed. So basically, I show a house here. It's called right here. It's this one. This beautiful house is $343,000, and you could get 3 of these houses. It's roughly 3,900 square feet, roughly about there, for the price of that one that I was showing. That one house. That's the Danby. So the one house in Australia, this one here. That one, for the price of that house, you could buy 3 or 4 of those ones outside of Fort Myers, Florida. So I wanted to put this up. So this video got a lot of. I got destroyed in the comment section especially by the Zen. So the Zen says to me, this should be renamed Mike Martin's Missed the Real Estate Opportunity Channel. Sour grapes, anyone? I did not miss the real estate opportunity, because I could go and buy a house 10 times better than what the one is selling in Australia for just around $300,000, 3 times the size and lot. So a lot of people are getting mad. So you could buy that. So this is look at this video, guys. It's from yesterday. It's called Australia's Diarrhea Housing Market, and you'll get more information of what I'm talking about. Look at Encino here, 279,000, 2,700 square feet. 3 bedroom, 2.4 bath, and I was comparing it to that little shed for sale. And so this guy, there's a lot of places you can still buy if you want to get into the real estate market. That's not the point. The point is, why would someone see? And then everyone is just destroying me, and then the Zen goes on and says, "You mean the kids in third world countries? Okay, I will. You overly privileged kitty lover, you." And the idiot likes his own comments too. And it's just a lot of people destroying me in the comment section. Then you got Megatron that always has something negative to say about me. Not only is he bitter, but he's a liar. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. This huge... So there's a lot of people in favor of this video and say I'm not delusional. And then there's a lot of people that are destroying me in the comment section. So I made a follow-up video about it because it was so bad. With some of the comments I got were so bad I had to remove them because they were just... I'm not trying to be weak or anything, but the... It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So... Oakville Construction in the comments section. Sales are a record low since 2003. And then Brother John says, hey, Anthony, when are you coming on my show? And then Walkie Journey says, how do I do that? Yeah, Brother John, how does one come on your show? Anyways, so this is from Greg Perry. He sent me a very interesting comment in regards to that video. So this is a huge video. So this video was actually reshared quite a few times on Facebook, the one I made last night, in Australia. So there's a lot of people viewing it in Australia. Someone sent me a link to the video. Someone shared. I guess they ripped it off YouTube and just uploaded it straight to Facebook. So this is by Greg Perry. Mike, I don't post much on YouTube or internet in general, but I just watched this video and wanted to say something. I like that you go on the internet and put yourself out there publicly to say what is on your mind. It gets conversation started that we can all take something away from. In the intent age, for some reason, everyone needs to be 100% sold on their own opinion, and any opposing views are now seen as the enemy to be destroyed. The people who would post these horrible things are making a personal issue about an opinion that disturbs their personal worldview. In essence, what you are saying scares them, and they feel they need to lash out personally. I'm not saying that there are not people with different point of views who don't bring interesting points to be discussed, but people should run what they post through the "would I want my mother to see this" filter, or "what would Jesus do" filter. Long short, let's keep things to the facts here and leave the bullcrap at the door, please. If you are only interested in confirmation bias, that you would watch another channel. Then you should watch another channel. In a previous video, you said people harass you about not being qualified to talk about real estate. And you asked, what makes someone qualified? I think anyone can have an opinion on real estate, economy, anything. Data and facts are all about interpreting the context. Anyone who is not blind can look around and see the macro and worldwide economy and see things are more fragile. I think it's fragile it's pronounced. Now that at any point in my recent memory, or anyone who is not blind can look around and see the world of infinite growth with no risk and catastrophic failure ahead. The only difference is interpretation. I believe as the money printing winds down worldwide and the bond market needs to perform as a real market for the first time in a decade, we will see an asset bubble collapse. That is what I am positioned for, and I watch channels as regular people, not talking head, to understand how others are interpreting the possible challenges ahead. So, thank you, Mike, for continuing to post and keep your head up. Haters are gonna hate. Yes, that is very true. So, this is it here, guys. I wanted to put that up there because the amount of hate I got, the amount of hate I got was just phenomenal for that video. Go look at it later, guys. Australia's diarrhea housing market. And it's pushed a lot of people's buttons. Even Megatron got into the conversation. Megatron was even mad. A third of Canada's $1.2 trillion in mortgage debt is in Toronto and Vancouver. This is like, these are not lies, people. This is a big deal. And people are looking at me like either A, I'm bringing this on, or B, I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm actually making this all up. So, I want to know what you guys think. Why is this happening? Why are we falling apart? Why is everything around us falling apart? Why is everything around us such a ripoff? There's always someone there. I have my car's leaking oil. I don't want to fix it. No, I don't care to fix my car and pay to fix it. I don't want to take my car to get fixed and then I end up paying an extra $2,000 for stuff they say they changed or they say I need. I'm not in the mood for that. Everything around us. Anyways, sorry guys, I got hiccups. 1 in 5 BC renters spending more than half income on housing. This is a severely big deal, and this is happening in California, it's happening in Oregon, it's happening in Washington State. Now it's starting to happen in parts of New York, Massachusetts. Man, everywhere's starting to pick up this problem. Let's watch this video. It's very important you guys pay attention to this, please. Interest rates going up. Recession coming to Canada, says Caryi. And Nat Luco says, good day, Mike. What's up, man? Welcome to the chat here. So here we go. Let's look at this. 22% spending, 50% of income.
To new evidence now that the high cost of housing in BC isn't only hurting people trying to buy a home. Sarah McDonald tells us how renters are also getting squeezed.
Every month, more than 1/3 of Sabrina Jensen's earnings end up in somebody else's bank account. Like most millennials in Metro Vancouver, she's a renter.
I probably spend about 30 to 35% of my income on rent. But I definitely have friends that spend at least half their income on rent.
And it's not just her demographic. New data released Tuesday shows an increasingly dire situation for renting households nationwide, and especially in Greater Vancouver. 22% of renters, that's 1 in 5 people, forking over half their annual income on housing costs. More than 40% of tenants allocating over 1/3 of their earnings to keeping a roof over their heads.
In a rental market like this, if one of your goals is to save so that one day you might own a home, I think you can kiss that dream goodbye.
And it's no longer just a Metro Vancouver issue, far from it. British Columbia topping the charts nationwide when it comes to rental rates, right across the province.
It's a province-wide problem, not just a Vancouver problem. It should be deeply disturbing to anyone who follows the housing market.
Affordable housing advocates say the solution lies in purpose-built rentals for low and middle-income residents.
We're breaking trail here as a city.
The city of Vancouver vowing to build 1,000 of them over the next 3 years. As for Jensen,
It's not sustainable forever to have a roommate.
she, like so many others, is still paying off somebody else's mortgage while trying to save for her own. Sarah McDonald, CTV News, Vancouver.
Okay, guys. So I want to put that up there. Steve, if you want to call in, go ahead, buddy. I just see you in the comment section. So I got people harassing me now in the comment section. Why don't you show us your income tax? Prove to us you like. Who do I have to prove? I'm living the life I want to live. I'm doing what I want to do 24/7 with no support outside government or whatever supports or benefits people call it nowadays. I'm doing my thing and I'm living my comfortable life and I'm living my dream. I don't have to prove nothing to no one. It's that disposable income I have every month because I'm not paying rent anymore. Woo! And no mortgage because the house was dirt cheap, $260. That's right, it's not a proper right. Yeah. So Steve's going to be calling into the studios, my studio. I'm going to start calling rooms at my house what they're not really. I'm going to have a production and facilitated depot fabrication section. I'm going to have a fuel distillery section. Mike, that's a really good question. I got a really good question here in the comment section. Mike, where should I put my money if I decide not to buy a house? You know what? Oh, Metal Gear is here. Oh, what's the number? I don't want to give the number online. You should have it. Because then you're going to have FU call and all these people call into the show, and they're going to be, they're just going to be calling the other line and crank calling us. Okay, let me go back to the guy's question here. Mike, where should I put my money if I don't decide to buy a house now? Man, you know what? Depends how much the quantity is. You know what? I know it's going to sound really crazy, and this has been working for me as a hobby. And if you have time, like I have a lot of time in my hands. If you have time, I would honestly think of doing just do a bit of e-commerce. Buy stuff at half price, sell it at full price. And double and triple your money over time. But not all at once. Do it slowly. I know a guy that goes to Walmart, buys stuff on clearance, and then sells it on Amazon. That's all he does. He drives around to Walmart's, fills up his car with stuff, $1,000 a day, and flips it on Amazon for $2,000 to $3,000. I'm not joking. And he's made over $1 million, close to $1 million his first year. If you don't mind working it, it's fine. But if you want your money to make money, there's not a lot of avenues right now. The bond markets are weak. The equity markets are unstable. The oil is uncertain. There's war coming, war on the horizon. I don't know if anyone's paying attention to what's happening with Israel. It's really tough where to put. Real estate's crazy, you know. Yeah, I've been doing eBay. Watch my series, bud. My eBay. I have a lot of some rough times with it with just idiotic people. You just block them; they can't buy from you anymore. But I've been doing eBay now, and I have some really serious numbers now. Some very serious income numbers, like big ones that have to report to my corporate earnings, because that's how big they are. Like I'm scratching my head, like, wow, I can't believe how easy it is. It's really that easy. So okay, Steve's got the number. He's gonna be calling right now. Oakville Construction thinks. Oh, buddy, he needs $3,000 a month to quit his job. You have no idea. I've been grossing on eBay. I think last month I grossed $11,000 in 1 month in gross sales, and most of the stuff I got for almost nothing. So, if you're smart, it's not hard to make money. $3,000 a month, yeah, that's nothing. I made 11, so. And that's my fourth month doing eBay. Watch my videos and how I did this and how I went. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting to earnings now where CRA is going to get a report now from eBay because it's way over I think it's my 30 or 45,000 a year. So I have to report to it, which is fine. I have a corporation anyways. Anyway, so where's Steve? Steve, where are you? Yes, someone's saying I need to look in eBay stuff. I could show you guys my numbers on eBay one day. I'll actually do a follow-up video, and I could actually show you guys my numbers, my sales, how much I've sold, what I've sold, my margin. And, okay, here we go. We got Steve the plumber here. Hello?
Hello, may I please speak with Mike the Bully?
Tis I, Mike the Bully.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
Nada, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing all right,
Okay, so what is it that you need to tell us? What is happening on the East Coast? What are we talking here? Golden Horseshoe? Are we talking from where you are up to New York? Are we talking from you to Florida? What are we talking about?
No, it's actually in reference to, I guess, the Bank of Canada. I got wind last week that the Bank of Canada was going to raise their rates on their 5-year fixed rate, basically whatever.
Was it TD's 5.2?
I'm sorry?
TD said they raised their rates to fixed rate to 5.2 or 5.1?
No, TD's 5-year fixed rate is 5.59.
Oh, 5.59. I'm sorry, Steve. I thought it was 5.2. And then I think RBC followed right behind, and then Scotiabank and Bank of Canada. Those, not Bank of Canada, the Bank of Commerce, those ones?
absolutely. It was actually I didn't know what to think of it, but it all came to fruition. I believe today. It was all over BNN. You can check it right now in real time, and it's interesting to say the least.
Let me see, BNN. Let's see what they got here.
They've raised their conventional 5-year mortgage rate.
Legal marijuana. Hold on, let me find it here. Toronto home prices. Oh, this is it right here. This is from yesterday. Let's watch this video, okay? Oh, where did the video go? Oh, Christ. Oh, where did that video go? Video link. Okay, I went there. It's not here. I wanted to see this video and see what they said. So, okay. Pre-builts. Are people walking away from pre-builts? What's going on?
Walking away from pre-built? They absolutely are. They can't be bought anymore. They can't get a mortgage.
Mm-hmm. So, okay.
That's a serious problem.
Yeah, so people are walking away from pre-builts, especially the people that put 5% down, I heard. Because it's not that big of a loss, so they just walk away from 5% and take their losses, right?
In essence, and hope to God that they don't get the pantsuit off of them in court.
Okay. So what's going on? Tell us.
Well, 7 days ago, McLean's had a great article out in terms of, how much money in real estate, in terms of people's property values and what they've lost. It's actually a fantastic article where it actually pinpoints different areas within the GTA on how the values have corrected in terms of so many hundreds of thousands of dollars, from King City to Newmarket to Milton to Toronto to, basically northwest and east and obviously south. But mainly the 905 region got rocked, as we know, and is continued to decline month over month here. Wow.
Someone at Oakville Construction's commenting and saying prices are dropping huge in the pre-builts. People are paying $899 large last year, now paying $599 large.
He's absolutely correct. I heard the same thing. There's it's actually quite drastic what's happening here, because they need to move the inventory, and if they don't, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Interesting. So I got an article from Better Dwelling that's tying into what you're saying. A third of Canada's 1.2 trillion in mortgage debt is in Toronto and Vancouver. So 1.2 trillion, a third of it is in Toronto and Vancouver. I mean that's very, very. Okay, here's the other one you're talking about right here. Better Dwelling, 2 days ago, Toronto detached real estate buyers have lost $144,000 since last year. So if you bought a detached property in Toronto last year, you're down $144,000, 10.34% on average across the board.
Yeah, there's another article that actually says if you own real estate, so on and so forth, in 135 days, $135 million evaporated.
Yeah, that's an anomaly, right?
I guess you could say, yeah, that probably hasn't happened before.
No, that was us post-dicting. We were post-dicting, not predicting. We post-dicted the market.
Yes.
And, okay, so I'm looking here. 114K last year. What does Better Dwelling have kicking around here that we could talk about? Court hears from unexplained millions from China and Toronto real estate. We all know that. Imagine Steve walking around with a hockey bag with like $5-6 million in it.
Did that the other day, Mike.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, let's move on here. This one here, 1 in 5 BC renters spending more than half their income on housing. How is it in Toronto, Steve, from the renters' perspective? What is happening in the renters market there in the GTA?
Well, I've spoken to some real estate agents, one in particular, and a few friends that are in the rental market, and it's very competitive. Who would have ever thought there would be multiple offers on condo rentals? Are
people still bidding on them?
Yes.
Oh. I understand there's a free market, but there's also having a soul and taking or helping or letting a family into your place to rent out for you for a few years that, you know, that's getting their feet on the ground or getting their beak wet. There's also that too, you know. You don't have to go for the highest. Sometimes the highest payer isn't the best payer, right, Steve?
Absolutely, and some of these these bidding wars in the rental market are going for $300 to $500 over asking per month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But then what happens to the students or the person that washes ashore to Canada that needs a chance, or somebody? They don't have a standing chance.
Yes, in essence, yes, that is true.
And then now also rumors from the GTA and Vancouver area that most students that are graduating now aren't staying in Canada and they're moving back to their countries because it's too expensive.
I heard that as well, and the reason why it's now become too expensive is because the money can't get, you know, they daddy and mommy can't send the money over anymore.
That's correct. So that's another problem. And then we're losing proper, you know, academics. We're losing minds, right? And, okay, so now this discussion that I've had before with you and with articles I've been reading, the Canadian brain drain, from what I've heard, is being very, very hidden from the media. It's being hidden from all the papers, and it's something they do not want to talk about. The amount of nurses and doctors, plastic surgeons, and when I say plastic surgeons, I mean the plastic surgeons that work for the private sector, for the government, the public sector, that work for the government, that actually help you if you get into a car accident. There's a plastic surgeon there to help you. They're all leaving southbound to the United States.
Yes, there's a mass exit of wealth, and not to mention the wealth, mass exit of professional professionals leaving, and we can't afford to have that talent go away. But it's interesting, you said something before. I think it's important. I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Maclean's article. It was about 6 or 7 days ago. Maclean's How to Lose Big Money in Toronto Real Estate, and within that article, it says these Toronto area homes were recorded as sold twice in 2017 and lost thousands in value when the market corrected. Now, it just goes to show you that organized real estate is not properly governed. I said it before, people stop listening to organized real estate. They aren't there because they're your friend. They're not there to help you. They are there to make money.
Well, that's the bottom line. It's the almighty dollar, right? And I keep telling people, and I don't want to get all biblical here, but the Antichrist to me is money. The all-in-one and the all-in-one money. Money is the root of all evil. Everything that stems, like I just before you called in, I say everything nowadays is an absolute ripoff. Someone's always looking to rip you off. Whether you're getting your car fixed, your grass cut, whether you're whatever you're doing, no one's doing it from the heart anymore. It's all to rip you off or trying to find a way to get the most out of you, and it's disgusting.
Absolutely. In the comments section, anyways, I hope we pronounced it right. I have a feeling they're going to bring back 40-year amortizations again. And then before that, are people having trouble getting mortgages? People are absolutely having trouble getting mortgages, and that's why they're leaving. They're not going to stay somewhere where they don't have shelter, and they're not going to, just sit around and wait for things just to tank. People are getting smarter and smarter every day.
Steve, do you remember a month and a half ago when some guy said I was ludicrous and I was delusional when I said that banks are going to raise their rates to 5.9%?
Yeah, I remember that, and I laughed at that as well. It's funny. His submission about you being delusional is actually becoming his worst nightmare. That's the guy that now he's literally crapped his pants and filled them to the point of no return, and he's freaking out because he can't breathe.
Yep. And rates have to go up. Rates, comfortable rate, because they've been at such record lows for the longest time. I think one of the most comfortable rate that I think right now to help prop the economy to keep up with America has got to be sitting at around 6.5 to 7.2% if we want to keep up with the Americans.
And that's the whole thing. I don't think we can physically keep up with the Americans without not only having a recession. We need a recession. We need that. We need to hit that reset button real quick, real fast. Otherwise, we're going to have even more problems to deal with. But I don't think we're going to be anywhere close to the U.S. simply due to the fact that the Canadian economy would basically just go flat.
Yeah, there's nowhere else for it to go, right? And I think Canada needs a leader that's actually like more of a working party leader, somebody that's going to be. I don't care what parties are out there. They all sum themselves up almost the same. We need a party out there that's going to be for the middle working class, period. We need a workers' party. I don't care who it is or who they're defined as, if they're defined as the NDP or they're defined as the Conservatives. I don't care who the hell they are. We need a grassroots movement in Canada. So does Australia. So does New Zealand. We need a grassroots movement. We need good people running that are actually there for the people. I'm here for the people on my show. You know why, Steve? Because I make one big fat zero donut doing this, and I make a big fat zero donut I have nothing to gain doing this. Do you understand what I'm saying, Steve? I'm just doing this for the sake of doing this, to get my word out, to create conversation, so people could discuss and talk and kind of balance out their needs and wants, right? And let's go back to what you were saying about 5 minutes ago. A lot of people are misconstruing their needs and wants. If you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, shelter, like you said, shelter is a need. It's not a want. People need shelter to protect themselves from environment and the environment and Mother Nature. People don't want shelter. They just need it because they need it to survive. And if people can't find it in Canada, they're going to go south of the border.
Absolutely.
And people are misconstruing needs and wants. And why do you want 5 houses for? What's the point? So there's so many other avenues to park your money, and I don't know why everyone is thinking that the real estate is the free ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very true. Very true. A lot of people have the misconception of what they truly want.
So now, where do you see... Apparently, there's a lot of people in and out for and against Doug Ford. The guy that's running for Premier. Is he running for Premier?
Yeah. Premier of Ontario.
What's he going to do with the foreign buyers tax or the taxes that were put in to protect the Canadian property? Is he planning on scrapping that?
I think that was in his platform and still is. But at the same point in time, he's going to have a very hard time getting that removed. See, John Tory, which is the mayor of Toronto, he can actually implement his own foreign buyer tax if he wants.
Okay.
He doesn't need the Ontario Conservatives, or the Liberals, or anybody who's in power in order to go ahead and put in his own tax.
So this is a mayoral decision for the city.
For the city of Toronto proper, yes, absolutely. If he were from the 905, I think that would be a catastrophic error, and he'll find out real quick, real fast, because the very people that he's working hard for, and let's face it, he's pretty much won the election, because a certain lady must go. But anyhow, without digressing, if that foreign buyer tax is removed from the equation and it's free rate, what that's actually going to do is an already impoverished economy, you're just going to see money come in droves and prop up these house prices to the point of no return. And I think the Bank of Canada and the federal government would step in before any of that would actually happen. They all have to work together in one way or another, and I think Trudeau's on his last legs. But if he were to do something, that would obviously be very stupid. But if he were to do it, as he said he was going to do, the ramifications would be very, very, very quickly identified, and he'd probably retract it very quickly because he doesn't want to see Ontario continue to fail to the point of no return. They're not open for business now. And
Hold on. Wait, they are what? Canada border is now open.
I'm sorry?
Canada's border is now open. Do you remember when Justin said, "Welcome to Canada, our borders are open for Americans coming to the north"? Or I don't know if you've been watching that series of a couple that's been going on the U.S.-Canada border and showing how people are coming in droves. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, those are refugees.
Yeah, with cell phones and everything. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, Canada is closed for business but open border.
Absolutely, they're planning. It's so bad in Quebec that I think they're planning on putting up housing for the refugees right by the border.
Yes, Hull. Is it Hull, Quebec? Hull, Quebec area? Hull?
I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, they'll basically help you with your luggage. They'll set you up, and
crocodile skin luggage too.
I'm sorry?
Crocodile skin luggage I saw in the video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Classy.
Yeah, very classy for refugees, eh?
Yeah. But in any event, it's actually, Trudeau's a bleeding heart here, and this is not what Canada is. Canada's a great country, don't get me wrong, but Canada needs to really take care of its own before they start taking care of refugees, more than people that are on the street, so on and so forth. It's so ass backwards.
It is, and it usually is, and that's the problem. So Canada, I love Canada very much. It's by far, like, I've lived in Mexico for 2 years. I've lived in, believe it or not, I lived in Miami for 5-6 years, almost 6 years in Miami area. I've lived everywhere, and you get different perspectives in life, living in different places, different language, different people, different backgrounds, different. And Canada's an interesting place in a way. What I see in Canada, Steve, when I look around, is it's like the infrastructure stopped 10 years ago. The bridges, the highways, the upgrades, the infrastructure for the city, like in BC, it's like it stopped 10 years ago, and they've never spent on infrastructure here for the last 10-15 years. That's what I notice compared to other cities I've lived in. Now, one thing, Steve, do you remember the show I did last week with my friend Hiroshi?
Yes.
Okay, Hiroshi brought up something. He wanted me to bring up a graph to show everybody, and the graph is welfare provinces, and we're not talking about people on welfare. We're talking about what provinces make from other provinces in a welfare way, where one province pays another province. BC, Alberta, all the provinces pretty much on the west coast of Canada are getting zero from the government, and everything's going to Quebec. Do you remember that?
Wow, so yeah, I remember that. So they're basically, it's just a transformation of tax dollars.
Exactly. So I learned about this when I lived in Mexico. Somebody was educating me on the Mexican tax system and how it works. Every state in Mexico has one tax where they send to the capital city of Mexico City. Then Mexico City decides which provinces or states in Mexico get that money to fund better sidewalks, infrastructure, create jobs, right? What's happening in Canada, BC, if you look at the graph, you could see it. BC, Alberta, all the other provinces, even Ontario and parts of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, everybody's giving money to Quebec. Quebec is getting more, like let's say $2 billion, and BC is getting zero in the negatives.
Wow.
So there's no distribution coming out to British Columbia and Alberta and other provinces, and Quebec is getting everything. And that's why Hiroshi was telling me on the last week's show that, yes, we need Quebec to separate because we're just paying. That's why when you come to BC, a lot of the roads, Steve, you won't believe the highways. The roads are so old, broken. Nothing's being upgraded. Everything stopped 10 years ago. I take you to Mexico City and show you some of the highways there outside of the Mexico City, going to Acapulco or stuff. You'll look at the beautiful highways, the stretches of road, all the turns on the highways are less than 30 degrees. It's phenomenal. You come here to BC, everything's falling apart. Why is this happening? Why is the infrastructure 10 years behind? This is one thing I don't understand. Where is this money going to?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think Liberal government is out of power from a federal standpoint. A lot of things will come out of come out in the wash, so to speak, or for lack of a better term. I can't answer all those questions because I don't know all the answers. It's one of those things where, that graph that, you guys, put up, so very informative. Regrettably, I haven't had a chance to corroborate it, but I'll take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mess, Mike. It's an absolute mess.
Hello, Steve?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
here. Can you hear me?
I found the video. I'm going to play it right now for people to listen to, so you want to sit back and listen to this. Let me turn down my audio.
Innovation in this country with Stephen Jaroslawski joining us, former president of Jaroslawski Fraser. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
It's my pleasure.
So we've been hearing from the finance minister, we've been hearing from a lot of entrepreneurs all summer about how much they do not like these proposed tax changes, ending some of what the Liberal government calls loopholes, that it's going to kill the entrepreneurial spirit here in Canada. What's your take on it?
My feeling is that that is correct, and I think that the accelerated taxation, the 13% increase last year, combined with all the other taxes, are killing entrepreneurship. Not only there's a difference now in Quebec between tax rates from 52.5% in Quebec and 35% in the United States for entrepreneurs. That's going to kill it. But the most dangerous thing right now is what's happening with the Canadian dollar, because very few export companies have 10 or 12 or 15% margins on their sales. And what is happening with the American dollar is something that is universal in all through the world, because the many countries are afraid of leaving their money in the United States and are changing it into other currencies, which is the main thrust under the Canadian dollar as far as I can see. And we're going to put ourselves outside of the market where we can compete. And that is really the serious thing. The acceleration of our interest rate, of course, was necessary. It was far too late. The housing boom should have been stopped, and we shouldn't have allowed foreigners to buy houses with money which I'm not quite sure how clean it was. That should have been done way before. And now these increases in the interest rates are making it even more attractive for the foreigners to buy our bonds when they don't want to buy American bonds anymore. And that can go for a while, because these nations, with sanctions being threatened and also with the freezing of their US dollar balances being threatened, these nations are taking money out of the United States, and that's pushing the American dollar down, which is exactly what the Americans like to see, because it makes them far more competitive, and it shields their own economy also from foreign imports.
You clearly have a lot of concerns about our competitiveness on the world stage on a number of fronts. What are the Liberals not getting about this then? A lot of business owners, entrepreneurs telling us that they're just killing any incentive to try to grow this country. Do we run the risk of losing some of our best and brightest?
Well, I'm convinced it is, because I think, and I talked to 20 entrepreneurs from Quebec, And I told them that they're not good entrepreneurs, because if they were, they wouldn't be in this country.
So that's not a great situation
And
to be
the
in.
tax system now is far too high, and it's at a time when the Americans are thinking of reducing their tax system. And that is going to make us even less competitive. And this rising Canadian dollar is an enormous threat for our export economy, and also allows the American companies to compete in the Canadian market, because the Canadian wages are going up by the same amount as the exchange rate. And in addition, in Ontario, we got the $15 minimum wage, which also doesn't point in the right direction. So I think this government is very badly advised, in trouble, and we will see what comes out of it.
Well, there you have it there, folks. I wanted to throw that up there. He does mention housing there in the video, discussing how this should have been cleaned up long time ago. So, Steve, you still there, buddy?
I am.
Okay, so what did you think of that expert there?
I've watched him more than once. He's a very, very wise man.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not a young guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
He's got the gray hair mentality, and he's got experience to back it up. And a guy like that speaking, it resonates with me, and I'm sure it resonated with a lot of other people. Yet the federal government, in terms of the Liberals, still just are non-responsive. The other day, he's listening to entrepreneurs. There was, a previous dragon that came on, BNN, all kinds of other people, big CEOs from banks are really, tapping into Canada's competitiveness and saying we're not competitive. People are leaving, wealth is leaving, our talent is leaving, everybody's leaving. And Bill Murdo actually had the balls to go on national television, or actually on BNN, and say that he strongly disagrees with it. Meanwhile, the big movers and shakers within the banking sector, entrepreneurs, are all singing the same song. He is in denial, stage 97.
Yep, and he's saying if you're a good entrepreneur, then you are not a good entrepreneur because you're in Canada.
Anybody that owns a business, operates a business in Canada, especially Ontario, and unfortunately I fall into that category, is currently a fool for doing so. But unfortunately, if you're an established business, you can't just close up shop and move across the border. But if you ask me today, if I were to go ahead and open up a corporation and make it a living, breathing entity, and a profitable business, absolutely not. The risk versus reward is not there.
Yeah, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. What's the point?
Yeah, the taxable deductions versus the taxable benefits are just not there. You know what? I'd rather go and buy a couple of guns and move down to Texas.
Yeah. All my exes live in Texas.
You shouldn't go to Texas, Mike.
I'm joking. I'm joking. It's a song by George Strait.
I know.
So, I don't know if you can see what's up on my screen. Someone sent me this today. Three people sent me this today and asked me to show this today. Please, Mike, show this. Please, Mike, show this. Please, Mike, show this. So I'm showing it. So this sold yesterday. It's a Redfin listing. It's 1375 Bird Avenue in San Jose, California. Sold for $938,000 American. That's 1.36. No, 938,000 is 1.21 Canadian, 1.21 million Canadian. It's 1,066 square feet, zero beds and zero baths. Do you see that, Steve, on your screen? Yeah. So it's out of control, Steve. I know. Yeah, everyone's gonna say, Mike, but that's for the land. The land's worth that much. I understand the land is where the value is. I get it. But guys, I mean, why would you buy this? I guess it's somebody that's going to probably put a low rise in there or something and rent it out or Airbnb it out.
I guess because if it doesn't have any baths and it doesn't have any bedrooms, it's habitable. Therefore, it can't be considered a residential dwelling.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is by a theater and by a bunch of boarded up shops. There's lots of shops here with paper on the windows.
Yeah.
In the area. So, I mean, you get a bunch of closed down shops in your area. You could walk by and look at and wonder what you could open there, I guess. Frig. But, anyways, did you see that video I did yesterday that's having so much problems for me today?
Yeah, you're,
Did you see the Australia one where did you see the full one, Australia's diarrhea housing market, the one where I was comparing those houses in outside of Fort Myers, Florida? The $330,000, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, living room, dining room, family room, breakfast, cafe, nook, loft, 2-3 car garage. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember it. I was frothing at the bit. I said to myself, I'm a fool for not moving down there.
Well, I mean, life only ends when you die, Steve. You can move anywhere you want until death catches up with us, right?
Yeah, that's death and taxes. Can't get around.
Those houses I showed you from that builder by Ave Maria, those houses, I mean, you're only 50 minutes from Miami. And it's a beautiful drive through Alligator Alley. It's a really nice drive. It's beautiful. There's no traffic. It's open road. And if you want to get across the state, it's really quick. I've done that drive many times on my Hayabusa. So if you want to catch a Miami Heat game, you want to catch Miami Marlins or the Florida Panthers play, you could get tickets to go see the Florida Panthers for under $20.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and you're outside of Fort Myers, and Fort Myers is a great. I like Fort Myers. It's really a nice old aging demographic. So if you open a business there, doing house cleaning or doing assisted living, some sort of assisted living company, helping older people and elderly people do their shopping and stuff. The opportunity is there, but people aren't looking at it's all old people there. That's great. You know, there's a market. People don't look at that anymore, Steve. They don't look at opportunity. They just look at what they could get from whatever. You know what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely. From a tradesperson standpoint, I want to go and open up a business where there's a whole bunch of old people, because old people don't like to fix their own stuff.
That's right.
Generally speaking, don't have the capacity to do it. They got arthritis. They got this. They got that. Yeah, absolutely. That's where you want to go. And old people, I'm sorry, they have the money. They got ahead on the promised economy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So
I have a question for you, Mike, in the comment section. Who is DD Space DD?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm sensing that he may be of some sort of organized real estate. But anyhow, he's trying to suggest that prices should be a lot higher, and all kinds of other things in comparing Toronto and the 905 area. Prices should be higher, and Toronto should be, prices have room to grow. Just look at New York, so on and so forth.
No, leave him there. He's pissing off a lot of people in the comment section. So,
Sorry?
He's peeing off. He's upsetting a lot of people in the comment section. So,
Fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It keeps people. People are allowed to say what they want, right? And that I'm open to that, and I'm open to people as long as they're not making fun of me or making fun of or asking me stupid questions and stuff like that. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? People believe what they want to believe, and if that makes them sleep better at night, then you know what? Merry Christmas.
No, absolutely. I was just wondering. Curiosity was getting the best of me, but in any event, I'm just laughing at some of the things you're saying. But each to their own. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. That's for sure.
That's correct.
Mike, another question for you. Where do you see interest rates going by the end of 2018?
Oh God, I told you at the Steve earlier. Right now, because oil. Okay, if oil goes up, the price of oil goes up, and we can make it profitable again in Canada. I see interest rates sitting where they are right now. But if oil continues to slum and go down and up, it just reached $70. It's going back down. It's going back to 70. If they could arrange some sort of a deal, or if oil stays unprofitable, because we are so heavily propped on oil, I see interest rates going up to 6.4% to 6.9%.
Wow.
There's no choice. They have no choice. Steve, we're not propped. Our economy is not propped on anything. Our economy is not standing on anything. It's standing on student loans. You know, they have a saying in Parliament, how many do we have under the yoke? That means how many people do we have yoked in student loan debt so we could raise rates on them?
Yeah, no kidding it.
Yeah, so they say in Parliament, how many are on the yoke? How many people are under the yoke right now in Canada? Oh, about 3 million. Raise the rates 2%. Let them pay for this deficit, or let them pay for this. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with unsecured debt, lines of credit, second mortgages, man, all kinds of crap. Car loans. We're built off debt, and the only thing that was propping Canada for the longest time wasn't our mines, because we sold them all off to China up north in BC. So what we have left is our oil in Alberta, which is also propping or paying Quebec's welfare. So we are left at wit's end right now. If oil could stabilize and go higher, and we could profit off it, then I see the rates staying the same. If oil goes down, you're going to see a huge rise in gold, and you're going to see our dollar drop with it. And you're going to see rates go up to 6.9% to fix that correction, or create an aggregate against the loss.
I completely agree.
That's just what I think. I don't know anything, so.
Well, you know more than you lead on, Mike. But with that said, I understand where you're coming from. You mentioned HELOCs. I think the government may try to do something with HELOCs. We're using these HELOCs as ATMs. There was a great article from Better Dwelling regarding HELOCs, and a few other news media outlets put something out there. That's really, really going to hit people hard. A lot of banks are requesting that you pay down your HELOC on the condition of renewing your mortgage. That is a new thing that's happening.
Oh, they have to. You have to pay. Well, okay. What do you have to say for people that did 100% loan to financing in Australia and the UK? What are they saying right now? You know, they're not even covering any of this material. What about the people, Steve, that took 100% loan to financing now, and houses are down 7% in Sydney?
Well, wait until they come down another couple of percent, and there's your cue to walk away.
Yeah, but in some of those countries, you can't walk away. That debt follows you around till the day you die.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to figure out which countries, provinces, whatever you want to call it, outside of Canada, so to speak, where mortgage debt follows you till the day you die, regardless if you go bankrupt or not.
That's correct. It's like student loans. You can't go bankrupt without student loans either.
No, student loans and child support, I believe, are exempt, and I think traffic citations, at least in the province of Ontario, if you get a speeding ticket or something along those lines that's attached to your driver's license number, you cannot go personally bankrupt for the purposes of erasing that bad debt.
Yeah, so someone's asking in the comment section, Cargie is asking, do they garnish your wages if you go bankrupt? It depends what entity you go bankrupt with too, right?
Garnishment of wages. Whether to answer that question, I know the answer to that. So whether you have a bad debt or you get sued and judgment gets put against you, or you owe back taxes, or even worse, child support or something along those lines, or maybe you don't owe child support and you just have to pay for a kid. They
Right. That's correct. If you kill if you kill the guy that's supposed to pay you back, if you end up killing him through hunger, then you'll never get your money back.
So Kari, I'm in the comment section here. I mean, rich debt. So where are you making reference to in terms of mortgage debt?
Yeah, because in the UK and I know in Ireland, I know, in Australia, it's in concrete, and I think New Zealand, there's a clause where you could walk away. So I'm not too sure which country. I know in Canada. What about in Canada? You could walk away in Canada. You could file for bankruptcy on your mortgage in Canada, right?
Yep. In Canada, absolutely you can. 150%. Yep. And they basically say, okay, that's fine, that's done. Anything, yeah. So there's only a few things that stay on. So palimony payments, for example, or at least child support, student loans. And I think it just is traffic, like speeding tickets or whatnot, moving violations.
Yeah. And tolls.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I mean that's attached to the plate.
Yeah.
Ultimately, depending on who owns the vehicle and whatnot. But yes, absolutely, that is the case.
Yeah.
That all gets erased, including any taxes. So if you owe the government money, you can list them as creditor, and
okay.
that basically gets erased.
Okay, that's good to know. Luckily, I don't have any debt. I'm not sitting on any debt, so I have no. The only thing I have ahead of me, Steve, when it comes to like moving finances and stuff or financing, is if I get a flood in my house, then I gotta prepare for something like that. If I get I don't know, an earthquake damage or something, or my roof cracks, or the insurance won't cover it. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm at that point in my life now where it's just rainy day for me now. I'm at rainy day point right now. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You're living well within your means.
Yep.
And I mean that's great. I mean if you made $11,000 gross off of eBay, you got to be doing something right.
Oh yeah, my numbers are phenomenal. I'll do an eBay follow-up in another week or two when I finish this next quarter, and I could show my first quarter of 2018 and then my second quarter of 2018, and then I could show the 6 months doing eBay and what my losses are and gains are, and stuff like that. So I did it on a whim to try it out, and there's potential, Steve, to make about it's easy to make about $400,000 to $850,000 a year if you got the right suppliers and if you got the right momentum behind you and you got time on your hands, which I hope you would, because if you're making that much money, you shouldn't be working as a doctor, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's fantastic. So yeah, do you think we'll be in a recession by the end of 2018, Mike?
We are in a recession right now, buddy.
Thank you very much.
We are in a recession right now. We will be in a depression by Q1 of 2019.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's here and it's happening now, and everybody's just going on about with their life, and I think they're finally just going to wake up one day and say, "Wow, we're in trouble."
So Mr. Robot in the comment section likes to call me out all the time. He's saying 6.4 to 6.9%. Laugh my ass off. How the hell can he predict that? He is not an economist. Rolled my eyes. Hey, buddy. You know what? I ain't no economist. But you know what? I owe nothing. I've made the right moves in life because I've seen the markets. I've made power moves in the stock market all my life. I've been investing, Steve, in the stock market, since I was 21 years old. No, 20 years old. 20 years old, I opened my first direct investing account. And I've been doing really well in the markets, just following the trends and moving money around and stuff. And that's my other stream of income that I have, is that too. So
it's interesting. So that means you basically have 20 years behind the scenes don't have 20 years experience. They're fresh out of Ivy League, and they push buttons. And they can't possibly predict the future. They're going on the basis of the potential and risks and everything else.
So Mr. Roboto saying anyone can guess what the rates will be. So what? Doesn't mean anything. Steve, do you remember 2 months ago when I predicted rates were going to go up to 5.9% and everyone was laughing at me, and the guy on the phone that was talking to me said that that's never going to happen, they'll never do that?
Absolutely. Mr. Robotics, if you want to make a prediction, we'll write it down tonight, and you know what? We'll bring it on a future show, and we'll see what who's right, who's wrong, who was close, who wasn't, and there's no need to type in capital letters. Like, I mean, if you're trying to suggest that you're screaming, you don't need to scream.
I wonder how much money Mike actually makes per year take home. I wonder why people are so well, he is very interested in knowing that. I don't know why.
I'm not sure. I think he's, I don't know, maybe he's got small man syndrome.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't know why. It's, why are you asking, Mike? He is not an expert. Wow. Wow. Anyway, someone, the Don, this is my boy, the Don. The Don always got my back. Mike, do you believe the system is being internationally set up to crash? That's the only possible outcome now from all the games they've been playing over the past 10 years. Steve, do you remember that question I asked you in what the Don is saying here? Do you remember that question I asked you? Did they purposely raise interest rates when, boom, housing got to the highest it could get, and boom, they raised rates right on the dots, perfectly in time, in check, so everyone A, loses everything, or everyone loses their shirt, or everyone pays through the nose? Could you think, conspiracy-wise, okay? Thinking outside the box. We're not thinking, like, literal terms, you know? So, do you think it was set up purposely?
I think there was some backdoor conversations that were had and are continuing to be had. I can't confirm or deny that. I think something stinks. But at the same point in time, you also have to remember this party's been going on for quite some time. And with that said, we all have to remember that we should have had a correction a long time ago.
That's what the guy said. In a real housing market, remember that old guy was talking, in a real housing market, this should have been corrected 5-6 years. This should have been corrected 3 times already by now. We should have had 3 housing crashes by now.
Or corrections for the purposes of having some sort of a soft or mediocre, landing, if you will.
Yeah.
Now we're on the verge of a heavy or very harsh landing. No one wants to believe it, but you have to look at the debt levels, first and foremost. Interest rates have to rise, whether you want to talk it, on overall being competitive with the U.S., because we're sensitive to them. They sneeze, we get a cold, or if you want to look at it at oil or the overall economy, interest rates are going to rise.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to go up? Are they going to go up to 7%? You know what? They were there once before, and there's nothing to say they can't go back there. Do I think they're going to go back there by the end of 2018? Absolutely not. By 2019, most likely they won't be anywhere close to 7, but they sure as the 5-year fixed rate sure as hell could be anywhere between 6 and 6.5%. That's only 1% away.
Oh, that has to be. Like I said, Steve, we're gonna balance this on oil. If oil goes up and it makes Canada more profitable, rates will stick the same. If oil goes down or dips, or we go to war, which looks like it's on the horizon, then you'll see interest rates gonna have to go up. And the bond market's gonna take a beating. Equity markets will be super volatile. Investor confidence, people will start pulling money out of the markets and sidelining it, waiting for a good time to reinvest into the markets. You know. So Oakville Construction said oil hit $71 a barrel today. I have to check. I forgot to check my oil stocks this morning. My oil stocks, I don't know about you, Steve, if you've been checking your portfolio, but my oil stocks, BTE and Baytex, all the companies I invested in, they're all in the green right now from what I bought them for. And I'm doing well with those today. I was going to sell some of it too.
Yeah, I think it was over 71. I think
Yeah.
for 73, but I can't confirm.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's the players. I think it's the people that play. I play in the markets for so many years. I have a very diverse portfolio. I have my gold, my silver. I have all my equity. Dividend paying out stocks that pay out dividends, right? Then I have my ETFs, which pay out basically. You know what an ETF is, Steve?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple of ETFs in oil and in the marijuana market and a couple other markets. And I have a very diverse portfolio. And a lot of people should start diversifying their portfolio and creating a nice balanced, with high risk, medium risk, low risk, and kind of create a nice nest egg for the next 20 to 25 years from now, depending on your age, right? So, but what's happening is okay, Dr. Ted is saying, I have my downside hedges. So my downside hedges is Steve, is gold and silver, right? Physical gold and silver is what I have. That's all I depend on to hedge against inflation, right?
Right.
But I wonder what Dr. Ted Lim has on his downside for hedges. So someone's saying, so all your investments will crash with what you're preaching. Not necessarily. No, it's not necessarily. Like I said, I'm hedging against it too, right? So I'm betting on both sides, right, Steve?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Ted is saying, with volatility so low at 13, I am just keep buying them in the SPX. Okay. Someone says, better sell everything off fast, Mike. No, it's a buying and selling market, especially when everything goes down. Is the best time to buy, when there's blood on the streets, right, Steve?
Absolutely. If someone else's, blood and tears is your reward and opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The Don is bringing some very, very good points up, especially about hyperinflation and everything else.
Yeah.
You're right on the money there. So DD, you should really listen to this, because if rates don't rise, hyperinflation will come into effect, and that's obviously not very good. The Bank of Canada wants to keep inflation around 2%, hovering or just about 2%. And the moment it starts, creeping up there, they have no choice but to do it. It's inevitable. Interest rates will be rising. I don't see us going into a negative interest rate situation at all in the next 5 years, 10 years. I just don't see it happening, even if everything goes to shit and we have a massive recession and a huge housing crash, which is 100%, it is possible, despite what organized real estate says. It is possible, and people need to be aware of that. But then again, people need a place to live. So, their house, is only worth what it's worth at the time that they're trying to sell it.
Let's look at Janet Yellen's last speech here. Apparently, this is long. So, basically, it's 1 minute long, guys. This is coming from Dr. Ted. He says, do you remember Janet Yellen's comments after leaving? So everyone knows that the Federal Reserve is not part of the American government. That's old news, but let's see what she has to say here, Steve. It's only 1 minute long, and we might even learn something here today, bud.
But I expect that inflation will return, and the influence of lower energy prices and inflation below our goal. I expect this to occur as the temporary factors that are currently weighing on inflation wane, provided that economic growth continues to be strong enough to complete the return of the economy to full employment and to return to full employment, and long-run expectations remain well anchored. For most FOMC participants, including myself, we currently anticipate that achieving these conditions will likely entail an increase in the federal funds rate later this year.
Three different topics without answering anything very interesting. So, okay. And then the Don says, wow, she could barely get the lies out of her mouth. She looks like she's going to vomit from the guilt of all her lies. And then Dradi Pendejo says, the hyperinflation already happened in the stock market and the housing markets. Yeah. So lots of people going on there. I'm right here, guys. I don't know if you guys could hear me. So, anyways, I don't know, Steve, do you want to add anything to the show or what?
No, you know what, Mike? We'll leave it there for this go around. There's a couple of things that are coming down the pipe that should come to fruition by the end of the week, beginning of next, that are probably going to blow you away. And when I'm saying that, that's obviously through my channels. Made up of, economists and bankers and all that other stuff. So it's going to probably touch on the HELOCs and a few other things that they're going to try to scale back on and, I guess, prevent people from going, into further and further debt. They're really, really trying. And I don't know if people realize this. The government and the Bank of Canada is really trying to see people out of this shitstorm. Because there's so many people that if they didn't own real estate, they would go they basically would file for bankruptcy immediately. And the moment that house prices come down any further than they already do or already are, we're going to start to see people walking away from their houses and filing for personal bankruptcy.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have another show next week. I'll do some Australia during the week, and I'll do some New Zealand during the week, like I did this week, to balance out the week with different parts of the English-speaking world. Anyways, guys, thank you, Don. Thanks. God bless you too, and thanks, Dr. Ted. Thanks everybody for commenting in the comment section. Oakville Construction, thank you so much. Anyways, guys, thank you, Steve, for being on the show. And God bless everybody, and we'll see each other next week, next Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Good night, Mike. Take care.
Take care.